I like to say welcome to class because this is what we'll be having for now. I have been joined by finance expert, the person of Mr. Saturday Hokubili. Thank you for coming on the show, sir.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Okay, people usually want to have financial safety, yes, and that's why a lot of persons don't put their money in the house when they make money either from trade or however. They want to take the money to the bank so that it's safe there, and then they can just sleep, rest, knowing that their money is safe in the bank. But over time, we've come to observe and even discover that some persons even still need to pray while their money is in the bank, and that's because they could get caught up either by the bank that something has happened to their account, or they could get alerts for transactions that they never authorized. Now, how do we mitigate things like this? And that's why I have Mr. Saturday Hokubili, who's a finance expert, to take us through this class of financial literacy. So, when you put your money in the bank, normally you should be at peace that, oh, even if robbers come into your house, they can't have access to your money because it's in the bank. But these days, you put your money in the bank and still you may have to do prayers so that the money is safe. How can people just ensure that money deposited in the bank is actually safe? What are the do's and don'ts you shouldn't, the do's and don'ts to know about financial safety?
First, good afternoon, viewers. I thank you for having me on this program this afternoon. I would like to start from here that just like you have said, the man there or the woman there or the person there will tend to open an account with a bank for three major reasons. First is the safety of the money.
Okay.
Two, for him to checkmate his expenses.
Okay.
Three, for business and other, how he can make transfers to make sure that the business is moving fine. These are the major reasons why some individuals or persons open an account.
Okay.
But it's unfortunate these days we have these fraudsters invading to these accounts, collecting their money and taking it away to do other things that's best known to them.
Okay.
Yes, there are things we need to put in place to mitigate or to check, to avoid some of these. I use the word some because we cannot give 100% trust.
Okay.
That you have your money in your account, you have all these informations, and as a result of that, your money will be there 100%. But however, the good percentage of it is you having these informations to avoid all this. But the very meager percentage that will be coming is to the risk of the financial institution that you open your account with. That is why most of these financial institutions also have their IT unit to also put things to checkmate the activities of these fraudsters.
Okay.
Like the question you said, let me go there straightly. There are major things that we need to do to make sure that safeguard our money in our accounts. And some of those things is what I'm just trying to analyze now. First, when you open an account with a bank, please ask those banks staff some of the things you need to hear from them through via telephone or text messages, and you respond to them. It's not everything that you get calls from a certain individuals and you decide to agree with that individual with informations is asking of you. Ask them, they will tell you. Two, when you are taking an opening package, you call it opening package, to open an account, take your time to read through the information.
Some persons are very always in a hurry when you do that. It's just as if, like, okay, this is a bank. Why do I need to go through all of that? So long as I pay my money and then they give you whatever they need to give to you, if it's an ATM card, your account number, and then they go.
That's what I'm trying to warn now against that, being too hurry, not to look at the information. Take your time, read through it, see the informations that are there, so that when you are transacting any deals with anybody in the bank or outside the bank, you should be able to know some of the things you have to watch out for.
Okay.
So, but because of this,
some of these information are contained.
They are contained in those documents they give to you. They are there. They are there. But most of us don't have that time to x-ray it and look at it very well to be able to get those informations out from that place. Now, I will always tell persons there that 80 to 90% of frauds committed or made in your account, you as the individual, the owner of that account, has one way or the other contributed to those frauds.
How?
Good. Now, as an account holder, before you open an account, you are asked to fill in informations.
Yes.
And those information is what they put into their system. And those information is what they will see tomorrow before they will know that you are the owner of such account.
Yes.
Is that also?
Yes.
Good. Now, if you are even going through the cubicle or through the counter to withdraw money, you must have to give them those informations before you are allowed to take it. Now, a fraudster equally will need informations to get access to your account. You get it? They need informations. And getting these informations is not in just one place that you just get it. You must get it from several areas. It's me knowing you, blessing. I know you as a staff of ITV.
Yes.
I'll be seeing you in so address. And somebody is telling you you are so person. And you live in so place. You work in so place. You seem to believe that person is calling from a bank.
Okay, that you're referring to calls that fraudsters put across to unsuspecting customers.
Or person sends you information via your Facebook or your WhatsApp or the social media, and you decide to click into that information so that you can see when you don't even get the information that are coming from that place. You don't even know where he is coming from.
Online.
So yes.
So site that may compromise your the safety of your
information. You know, most cases when they say compromise, I like people to bring it down just because of our listeners over there and some other individuals that don't understand what the word compromise. You get it now. Now, when you tell the person that is not educated, say compromise, they will not even know what you are talking about. I mean, just shake his head and walk away. Telling another person, even if your wife or your husband or your children, information concerning your account is compromising.
Putting your account at risk.
Putting it at risk. So, information you must pass out. You must know who you are passing it out to and why you are giving that information out. And there are some vital informations. It's not like when they say we'll give out the account number. No, you give him an account number. You can give out an account number, for example. People are saying, when you give a BVN out, you have make a very big mistake. There's no, if I give you my BVN on air now, you cannot hack my account.
But if you giving out your BVN, for instance, makes it impossible or is not sufficient for a fraudster to carry out an activity unauthorized in your account, then how? What then would you do that would make it easy for a fraudster to have access to your account? Some persons have related their experience, how they received the call, and then they believed that they were speaking with a bank official at that time. Unknown to them, they were actually speaking to a fraudster. They were asked for their account number, they gave their account number, and before they knew it, they began to receive alerts.
Okay, now, as I said, read through what they have there before you can bank with that bank and be 100% safe or 90% safe. Let me say, not say 100 now, because only God have 100. Go 90% safe. Read through that place so that you can have information to yourself. Now, if somebody is calling you from a bank and you don't know the person from Adam, it looks somehow. That is why the bank itself have what we call the account officer. Account officer. Every customers of a bank have an account officer. Today, you listening to me there, if you don't know your account officer, when you get to your bank, request to know your account officer. If there's a call from any individual telling you to bring such information or this or that or the other one, just tell the person to hold on, I don't know you, let me call my account officer. You put up a call to your account officer.
Okay.
There is a call coming from so person is requesting for this or that or that or that. Then you don't hear from your account officer if actually it's coming from that bank. But the truth of the matter is that an average Nigerian, I don't know the kind of language I will use here, and I will not be looking. So we like to get something from where we didn't really keep it.
Okay.
For example, somebody is calling you that you won 100,000 naira from somewhere, okay, and we want to credit your account. Please send us your details. And you now give out your informations. And funny enough, when you give out an information to that third party, there will be, because there's an account, your phone number that is in your account.
Okay.
Your account. There will be a message sending a code to you. And this is an information that the IT of that bank has put in place to know if you are the real person carrying out this transaction. You get it now?
Yes.
And they will send it to you in any different ways.
Okay. Via SMS.
Via SMS, via web, they can send it to you. And once you click on it, you get it. When you get it and you return it back to them, they will hack your account. They must return back to you to know through your phone that you have in your account, your phone line that you have in your account. So now when somebody calls you, try to know your account officer. I recommend it to all persons out there to know who is your account officer. Okay. Irrespective, because some persons do some mistake. How much do I have there? I just have about 10,000. That's why I'm looking for account officer. No. Somebody may decide to say, okay, let me transfer some money so that you can help me do something the other way. Okay. And they transfer it, and somebody is already viewing that account for a long time, because this fraudster, yes, these hackers take their time to monitor your account when they have your information, and they are seeing your account every now and then. Even when they are asleep, they monitor it, and as soon as money gets into that account, they consume it.
Now, talking about your account details being compromised and how your account may even be monitored, some persons do not even by themselves maybe go to the ATM. Since the advent of POS, what some persons do is just to go to the next POS stand and withdraw cash. But stories have also come from there that by you giving your ATM cards to the POS operator and even making transaction, that some fraudsters do have access to some of these POS machines, and then thereafter they get vital information that have been stored in the POS when people come to make transaction, and they begin to use this information for fraudulent activities. But these POS machines, we all know that before you can get a POS machine, it must be given to you by a bank. Now, when something like that happens, they tell you, oh, it was done via POS, and sometimes they are not traced, or the corporate is not traced. The money just goes like that. How can the financial institution help to salvage situations like that?
I would not agree that any money that left your account through your ATM card cannot be traced. It's all depending. You know, when anybody lost money from account, it's always very angry and agitated, and the rest of them. Sometimes they are not patient to follow the rules and the rest of them. There's no money that will leave your account that cannot be traced, irrespective of how they do it. I will not say 100%. Maybe there are some other ones that I don't have here to say, yes, you cannot trace.
But basically, most of such transactions can be traced.
I tell persons, if you are, not all POS are genuine persons.
But how would you know? There are very many. It's easier to even get cash or make transactions using POS than going into the bank or even the ATM.
That is why you, that is the account holder, the owner of that account, should be very careful in some POS you use. In other platform I used to educate, don't use one POS every now and then. Don't use it. If you use one POS every now and then, your information will store into that system, and the system will recognize you and may not ask you some questions again when you are transacting.
Okay.
You get it now?
Okay.
If you run it first time, second time, third time, you should run another POS. It's like, for example, you are using an ATM machine. You punch a wrong pin. It will tell you wrong pin. You punch it the second time, it will tell you a wrong pin. If you punch it the third time, it will seize the card.
Okay.
It's automated. You get it now. So also, if you use this POS once, 2, 3 times,
okay,
the system will recognize, and the OTP that will send to so person and the rest of them will not be sent when it gets to some levels.
Okay, because it already recognizes
they
that
recognize
card.
that card. So I recommend people, when you use this POS one or twice, go to another one, you change, you interchange, you change it, so that to avoid some of these things. 2, don't give your card out to a POS machine and allow him to start doing it when you are not seeing what he's doing.
Okay.
Listen, for you to buy something online, you don't need to take your ATM card to the online system company before you can buy. From the card behind it, the serial number behind it, that number behind it, you just key it into the system and it will recognize that, and they will send you a code that you now use to confirm you are the one running it.
Meaning that number is also very vital.
Very important. So
much as
if you
PIN.
give a POS man and keep it where you are not seeing it, it take his camera phone and snap that card. He can transact business with that serial number. And tomorrow they take money from you, they use it to buy something. Those are good. These are some areas you don't actually trace to, because when you use it to buy something online,
okay,
it becomes difficult because the system will be seeing you buying the thing.
Okay.
Do you understand? Because you are the owner of the ATM card. So the system will be seeing you buying the thing. You will not be seeing that fraudster as the person buying the goods. So don't allow them to use your card when you are not seeing what they're doing. They should put it on such a way that even when they are punching the amount, you will see it and give them your PIN and transact.
So these are some of the lessons that I'm sure that we now know. Now let's look at the impact of these fraudulent activities on businesses. You know, some businesses that used to own POS before don't even use POS anymore. When you come in, they ask you either pay by cash or no business. It slows down business. Now, even for those who we authorize you to make transfer, it's hard and it slows business. So is there a way around this that, of course, you always have fraudulent people, but it is reduced to the extent that business is not slowed down. We don't revert back to it has to be cash for cash. Some persons don't trust POS. They don't want to know who's the good one and who's the bad one.
The truth of the matter is that our internet system is not yet there.
Okay.
You get it now. So because of that, it's making it difficult for that entrepreneur or a trader or whatever to do some business, because there are some transactions we do now, it will hang.
Okay.
This same person need that same money to make purchase the next few hours.
Yes.
And you see, doing a transaction for a whole full day, at about let's say 10 or 20, you only have 2 that drop in your account. For you to do the next business becomes difficult. The person says, no, I will do away with this.
Okay.
Listen, the cashless society have started since 2014 in Nigeria. But we have yet to get there till today.
Because of this issue?
Yes, because of this issue. We cannot trust our internet to be able to do a job now and get it 100% done. So that is why you are seeing it. These things that are there are to actually make turnaround time very, very okay. But since the internet is not as strong as what we need now, we'll get this hiccup. Because of that, you'll see people running away from having this POS around them to do business with.
Let's look at fake alerts. A lot of persons have complained that they receive fake alerts, but is it not easy to identify a fake alert from a genuine one?
Yes, very, very, very,
How do you know the difference?
Now, you as an account holder, by now I should be able to know average of how much I have in an account.
Okay.
Average of what I have in an account. I may not be able to give a detail of what I have in an account.
Okay.
So if I have an average of, let's say, 50,000 naira in an account, for example, and you said you want to do a transfer for me, and you did a transfer,
okay,
I should be able to get an alert within 2 minutes.
Okay.
But if I cannot get it just because of the internet issue, then when you now show me that this is the alert I use in transfer it for you, I will look at it and I will see that 20,000 and my balance as at that day, I'm seeing 21,000.
Okay. From your own phone?
From the person's phone. It's the person that will show you this thing. Even when he's sending it to you, he will send it via text message. But
the person's phone only shows what the person has paid out and the balance remaining in the person's account. It doesn't show the balance in your own account.
if he's sending it, he cannot know, he will never know your balance of your account. And when there is an addition to an account, it will reflect at your balance.
Okay, so even when they show you, you have to check your own account to be sure that you already...
You check your balance. As soon as you just 20,000 naira, look at your balance beneath it. It's under it. Just look at it and see that the balance does not agree with what you feel is your account. You reject it.
Okay. So
then if you have other means of checking through your bank app or there is a code you can also use when you don't have a phone that can be that you use app. You can use all this normal phone. There are codes. Ask your bank, they will tell you. You use the code to check your balance and it will send you your balance immediately.
Okay. All right, on the final note, what is the role of financial institutions in helping solve issues like this?
Okay, now, first, I will tell you how the financial institutions have added to these fraud issues.
Okay.
First, temporary staffs.
Okay.
Because they want to cut costs, they tend to use temporary staff, where they can pay meagers to these young graduates and the rest of them to now start. Because of this same person don't have a stake in that establishment, he has access to some information, he can give it out.
Okay.
I'm not saying that all of them they are all free.
But it's also very possible and it does happen.
So the financial institutions should also look at those areas on how to bring it down.
Okay.
Two,
cut down on temporary staff.
Yes. Two, they should engage some of these IT experts to work on their system to avoid some of these things, because some of the banks are even more prone than some other ones, depending on what you have in your system.
Okay.
Now, the bank have put things together to make sure that yes, these things will not happen again by having a customer service unit.
Okay.
By having an account officer.
Okay.
By having a customer service manager.
Okay.
So some of these things are what you need to get when you get information from the so-called bank, or the so person is calling from so bank, or is sending a message from so bank, respond to it and the rest of them. These are people you run to or you quickly call to find out what is happening.
But what about when it happens on a weekend and you can't have access to them or they're not working?
That area now is a little bit because of our time.
Okay.
If it happens within the weekend, just like I told you, in your mobile app, you can get where you can block your account immediately.
Is it just the mobile app or there's a USSD?
The code, you can also use it.
Okay.
Even when they stole your phone in the process, another person can also use that code to block your account.
Okay.
Provided you can give such person the informations about your account.
Okay, so you can use an alternate phone.
Yes.
If, for instance, your phone was stolen on the weekend and you need to safeguard your account while you go about recovering your SIM and every other thing.
Just tell the person give me your information, your account number, the bank you are banking with, and the rest of them. Send it to it, and it will prompt you. Informations will be coming up, and you will be working along with it, and your bank will be closed. But before you go open that account again, you need to visit the nearest branch of that bank to be able to open it. Otherwise, they will not open it without meeting them.
Thank you very much, Saturday Kubili. I wish we had more time for this, but I guess the class has really been valuable for those who didn't know that when you go to a POS stand, you must watch what the POS operator is doing and don't just relax and say, okay, let them do their own thing. All I have to do is input my PIN. And then you've also known that you shouldn't, it's not wise for you to consistently patronize a particular POS. Make use of other ones so that the system doesn't retain your information and then it becomes easy for your account to become vulnerable to fraudsters. I got that lesson.
You're correct. You're correct. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for coming again. So it's been a much needed lesson, and I'm sure that every viewer at this time appreciate the class. We hope to bring you here again to give us more in the financial class.
I hope to see that day.
Okay.
Thank you very much for listening. I hope you have learned from what we have told you so that you cannot lose your hard-earned money. Thank you very much.
Even your business money, very important.
Very important.
We'll go to a quick break. When we return, we'll look at Forex scarcity. Don't go anywhere.